Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 14th of May. So we are seeing on the euro dollar much the same. The chop continues effectively. We're almost running red green at the moment. Yesterday it looked like at one stage it was going to pitch up through back towards the monthly pivot, maybe even all the way up to that daily 50, but it just couldn't hold on to the gains there. It's rolled later on, and as you see, it just sort of put in that new high. Whether that put in a bit of MACD divergence, probably not, but maybe in a bit of an RSI, yeah, a little sort of soft RSI divergence there. Looking on this 4 hourly, it's looking quite weak but choppy, and there's a trend line running across the absolute lows there. Let's see if I can draw it on there. It's probably quite unlikely that I can draw it on there, but I'll give it a go. Let's see, no, it's not going to let me go. As I said, quite unlikely. It won't when I'm recording on here. For some reason the software won't work, but anyway, there's a trend line across the lows there. It may be finding a bit of support off of that at some stage. I'm a bit wary of it, and it's got the daily pivot untouched above. The probability of that being hit is quite good, so it's a case of sitting and waiting a little bit this morning. If it does pull back towards that, there may even be a target trade back for it, but as it gets there, I'm not too hopeful of it pushing all the way through, but we'll see. If it does give me a reversal, then at that stage I'm looking for the short side again, just to play the pillar to post trade maybe. But as it's sitting here at the moment, there's no signs of divergence here. Is there a bit on the RSI, marginal on the RSI, but the MACD still really not really giving me any divergences. It's just a weak market. But as I say, it's a bit of patience this morning as these markets have been. Looking at the pound then, the pound is soft overnight. We've seen it break yesterday's lows there. It's tight old range yesterday. Just looking, it wasn't that tight yesterday here in the end. So selling off lower highs, lower lows running through this market. Retracements are really what I'm looking for, ideally. Now again, daily pivot untouched above, which may become a draw. We'll see how this runs. I do wonder with the pound where it's got the legs, it's very clear lower highs, lower lows, very much a trendy market. Retracements may only sort of get back to sort of something like the 60-21. I say 60-50 would be quite nice actually, because that would work off the pivot at the same time. But watching this, because we do often see at this time of the morning a bit of a change in attitude to the currencies. Both of these may run up. I probably prefer the euro on the longer side, but it may be a little bit slower. But something just to watch on both of those as we kick past 8 o'clock. Dollar yen. Well, we've seen sort of risk off through these markets so far, and well, we're seeing the bit of a move to safety sort of look here, as it's come back towards its 4 hourly lows there, although it's got some solid old support into that 4 hourly 50. It's whether that can hold. If we see a continuation of strength here on the yen's point, we'll see this running off south. But as I say, it is holding at this moment. Lower highs, lower lows through yesterday overall. Again, as I said though, it's now 60 minute, a nice 60-minute candle. We just hit 8 o'clock as I'm recording this, and it's closed that candle then as quite a bullish candle. But daily pivot's already been ticked off, not too far away from the S1. It's just below us. If this starts breaking the trend back above the 21, I wonder today with the sort of the way these markets are moving and rattling around there, whether it will get caught between the pillar and post, the 500 to 50 moving average coming down for the short term at least. If it can push through there, well, the yen's off to the races a little bit as well. Aussie dollar, well, again, this is well, we've had 3 down days for the Aussie dollar. It's back in support into its daily 21. Hasn't really done, it's struggled back into that daily 100 moving average. Low highs, we were really working. I was drawing pictures yesterday, maybe on the lower time frames, but or it's deleted it, I haven't saved it, but it's a sort of a wedge pattern, and it's breaking to the bottom of that wedge at this moment, just coming to its for at least daily weekly S1, beg your pardon. Looking at it from a 60-minute point of view, you see the lower highs, lower lows through this, and it does look soft at the moment. So it had a little pitch up there. I was watching the last hour and I was thinking, well, I wonder if that will turn around for us for today. It's air kissed the daily pivot here, not quite got there. It's not even to its daily one, it's daily S1. Again, I think some patience needed in these markets this morning. Canadian dollar finally then, of these majors I'm looking at, and the Canadian dollar's following a similar route. It's pretty much inverted. Australian dollar at the moment, high lows, high highs through on this 4-hourly. Looks like it might just push on up there. Now this is nothing to do with oil as such. Oil's just flat, which I'll show you in a moment. This is just not going anywhere really quickly. Price action sitting here. Yesterday it did actually break its trend lines, and looking at it sort of midday-ish there, it looked like, well, this is going to push on, but it turned on a dime at 1 o'clock and switched back. So daily pivot below, would like to see that taken out first before it pushes up, but it may just push up this morning. Look, as I say, it's looking soft. Okay, looking at oil briefly then, I'm just going to see if we can get away with 60-minute chart. Probably not, because I'm going to have to bring it out to a 4-hourly chart to show you how tight range this is at the moment. So not an intraday trade to be had there. It's not any trade to be had there at the moment. Now, I'd been looking, I'd closed my short out that I'd taken, was that some point last week, early this week. It's just not going anywhere. It's just risk. You're just sitting in risk with it, not going anywhere. It's with the news I put in a recent video on our YouTube site there. It's possibly not going to take the dip next week that at one time I expected around the 19th, and a lot of brokers expected it. They prepared for it, but it seems pretty flat as we're going at the moment. Yesterday's numbers in the US in terms of storage that showed a drop in quantity that's been stored, so that, if anything, should have been good news for oil, but just didn't take any action either way. S&Ps are taking a bit of a hit here. Maybe the fact that the Fed are not going to cut into negative rates. Well, why should they? It really doesn't make a lot of difference when they start getting so low. They're a low rate. They've, as already suggested at the last Fed meeting, that the responsibility should go across to Congress to sort this economic situation out, and not them. Again, that was made clear yesterday. So all that very, very clear, and they're not going to be taking blame for anything that happens here. They've done what they can do, and it really, as I say, depends on Congress to do something. So in their books, I can't disagree with them too much. What we're seeing then on the 4 hours here, we'd had that lovely climb up there, weakness and a bit of a wedge pattern across the top there. Finally broke down, rallied a little bit into yesterday, into that 50. And the moment, well, we could still be heading further south, just to get a little bit of bit of a buoyancy at the moment. It's a little uncertain here, where it's got a daily pivot above it, may just be drawn up towards that this morning, but I don't hold out any great hopes for it. I'm bearish in the longer term, and this may just be partially a catalyst towards that further downside. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, I'm just zooming through quickly into seeing what key news events are due out today, and I'll tell you in just a second as I've applied the filter here. Right, so employment change, we saw that in Australia. Record employment change there. Their unemployment rate was only 6.2%. It was forecast to come in at 8.3%. So overall unemployment rate hasn't grown that much. It was previously at 5.2%. So not grown as bad as expected yet. But it seems to be quite solid there. Aside of that, today at 11:30 we've got the Bank of England governor speaking. Now this is possibly one that could be a bit of a mover, so I'm not I'll be aware of that. But at 11:30, if I'm in a trade, I'll be in a trade by then. It shouldn't affect trading too much. From that point of view, it might give an opportunity later in the morning. We'll have a look. But aside from that, we've got a Bank of Canada governor speaking. If only I could say that. He's due to speak at 3:30 this afternoon. Bank of Canada financial system review as well at 3 o'clock. So may see some data out there that gives the Canadian dollar a bit of a move there later, and it's quite key data. So there we are. So I will leave it there. Have a great day. Bye for now.